Laura Lee, will you please call the roll?
Stu Boyd.
Please lead us in the pledge. Thank you, Nancy. And
Faculty, staff, parents.
are there any changes to the agenda for tonight's?
I would also like to say aye.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay, I just want to make sure you got it.
Okay, the motion for the agenda was passed. All right. We have the approval of the minutes, and we have two minutes to approve. The first would be for October 18th, 2023. This would have been our last board meeting that we had here at the district office. Does anyone have any changes or corrections to the minutes? Okay, hearing none, I will take a motion to approve the minutes for October 18th, 2023.
I'll move.
Thank you, Nancy.
Second.
Thank you, Pam. Nancy and Pam. Laura Lee, please call the roll.
Stu Boyd. Amy Doran.
Aye.
Pam Howard.
Aye.
Don Kirk.
Aye.
Barbara Cruz.
Aye.
Alexandra Lessem.
Aye.
Nancy Rumfeld.
Okay, thank you. The motion passes. Approval of the minutes for November 1, 2023. That would be our most recent study session. Does anybody have any changes or corrections to the minutes of the study session on November 1st? Hearing none, I will take a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Pam.
Second.
Thank you, Alexandra. So I have a first from Pam and a second from Alexandra. Laura Lee, please call the roll.
Stu Boyd. Amy Doran.
Aye.
Pam Howard.
Aye.
Don Kirk.
Aye.
Barbara Cruz.
Aye.
Alexandra Lessem.
Aye.
Nancy Rumfeld.
Aye.
All right, thank you, Laura Lee. It passes. Turn it over to Dr. Schaefer for the beginning of our public participation.
Good evening, Madam President and members of the Board of Education. I would like to present to you some updates from this month here in the Thompson School District. So we open with Namakwa Elementary School. We want to congratulate Namakwa Elementary School for being named an America's Healthiest School Award winner. The team is being recognized for their dedication to bolstering physical education and activity, and also for supporting school health services. To read more about Namakwa's recognition, please visit the school's website. Thompson School District celebrated Classified Staff Appreciation Week on October 16th through the 20th. Thank you, TSD classified staff, for all that you do to support each student and family in our amazing school district. During the week, we featured some of the amazing paraprofessionals, translators, office staff, custodians, mechanics, and other wonderful team members here in TSD. Families of current 8th graders are invited to attend the district's high school open house nights, which are currently underway. Students and families can explore unique options offered by each school, meet teachers and staff, and learn more about the next steps toward high school registration. On November 6th, high school students across the district visited over 30 colleges and universities across Colorado and the United States at TSD's annual college fair. The fair provides a great opportunity for students and their families to see a variety of post-secondary options and learn more about what they can expect as they get closer to graduation. As a reminder that students and families who want to attend a school outside their attendance area starting next year are encouraged to complete the 2024-2025 choice enrollment application, which is open through December 15th. Thompson School District has a variety of options available to fit interests and goals of each student and family. To learn more, please visit tsd.org. Over the past month, I've met with members of my high school, middle school, and elementary student advisory committees here at the district office. These groups provide great feedback to our team regarding student experiences throughout TSD. With every session, I'm amazed at the wonderful insights that our students are able to share with us. On October 16th, Board of Education members Amy Doran, Don Kirk, and Nancy Rumfeld joined me in hosting a forum to meet with residents at the Lago Vista neighborhood in Loveland. Participants were provided with a brief overview of the district and also had an opportunity to ask any questions they had about TSD. On November 10th, TSD hosted a kindergarten open house at Thompson Valley High School. The annual event is an excellent opportunity for students to visit with staff members at elementary schools across the district and learn more about our terrific programs. It was wonderful to see so many families in attendance. Schools throughout Thompson School District celebrated the Veterans Day holiday with a variety of activities, which included educational lessons, special events, and visits from veterans within our community. Many of our schools worked hard to design unique opportunities to honor the special day. Once again, thank you to our veterans for your sacrifice and for all that you have done to protect and serve our country. Yesterday, we celebrated Read Aloud Day. This yearly tradition highlights the importance of literacy and the power of a great book. Many local business people, district employees, TSD board members, and community members were invited into classrooms to read to groups of children. On October 27th, the Colorado Department of Education awarded the 2024 Colorado Teacher of the Year Award, whole state of Colorado, to our very own Jessica May. Jessica, can you stand? We'll recognize you later, but we'll recognize you now. And Jessica, she teaches family and consumer science at Turner Middle School in Berthoud. At the time of the application, Jessica was teaching at Conrad Ball Middle School. Previously, Jessica was also named the Thompson Education Foundation's Teacher of the Year for the secondary level in 2020. Jessica, thank you for your exceptional dedication and passion for your students, families, and our community. And a little bit later in this evening, Board of Education will have a special proclamation that further celebrates your tremendous achievement. Pam Howard, finally, I want to take a moment. Finally. We got to Pam. It was the start of the show. Finally, I want to take a moment. The day is here. No. I want to take a moment to give a heartfelt thank you to our colleague and friend Pam Howard, who's retiring after 10 years of service on the Board of Education. Pam is a stalwart in our community with decades of service as a parent and volunteer. She is 100% dedicated to the students, families, and staff of Thompson School District. She worked tirelessly on the passage of the 2018 bond and mill levy override ballot measures, listening to community members about why the previous items failed to pass 2 years earlier, and working with district staff and board members to find a solution that the community would embrace and support. She is a dedicated advocate of early childhood education, of the critical support programs that our students need to succeed, the educational success of each child in our district, the expansion of our career technical education offerings, and the importance of building collaborative relationships with students, families, staff, business leaders, and members of the community. Pam, thank you for all that you've done for TSD and our entire community. We really appreciate all that you've done. Next, I'm going to invite up Keisha Martin, and as she makes her way up, I will say some great things about Keisha, who is on the agenda this evening recommended for the new assistant principal at Ferguson High School in the TCC. After receiving her bachelor's degree in elementary education from Wheeling Jesuit University in West Virginia, Keisha began her career in education as a middle school special education teacher. She spent 3 years in the Albuquerque Public Schools as a special education teacher. She collaborated with general education teachers to ensure that content and academic planning was inclusive to all her students. Keisha first came to TSD in 2015, where she spent 1 year as an affective needs teacher at Mountain View High School. There she taught specific SEL content to support students with social emotional disabilities and continually evaluated data for progress. She was also an advocate for student needs at the district level. Keisha moved on to Windsor High School, where she spent 2 years as a special education teacher. Her work in Windsor brought her back to TSD, where she was an autism interventionist for 3 years. In that role, Keisha collaborated with staff and administrators to provide training and recommend strategies. She also served as a resource for behavior support in all schools district-wide. It was during this time that Keisha was pursuing her master's degree in education administration and supervision from the University of Phoenix. In 2021, Keisha became the Dean of Students at Ferguson High School, Thompson Career Campus. In this role, she shared responsibility of providing building leadership, supporting district initiatives, school mission and performance framework, and classroom-level instruction. She also implemented discipline, monitored and tracked potential graduates' progress, and led quarterly new student orientations. Keisha's overall education experiences has prepared her to take on the role of assistant principal of Ferguson High School and Thompson Career Campus. Keisha, we're excited to welcome you to your new role.
Thank you. Madam
President, Dr. Schaefer, members of the school board. Some of you have had the pleasure of meeting my teething 10-month-old Mackenzie, and I can't put her down, so thank you for the grace of bringing her up with me. It was an absolute honor to be even considered as an option for this position, and an even greater honor to be selected. Ferguson has been my home for the last 2.5 years. Thompson School District has been my home for the past 6, which I am proud to say, like, I don't want to ever leave. And so I have very high hopes of continuing. I even said in my interview, my plan is to retire from that building. It has my heart. I love that building and all the staff and students that come with it. So thank you for the honor and the privilege to serve our students and staff and be selected for this position. It's greatly appreciated.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Keisha. Congrats.
Thank you.
I next want to move on to our Top of Thompson and Community Champion Awards for the month of November. As a reminder to the board and district community, each month we recognize a member from each of our employee groups, classified, licensed, and APT, as well as a community champion. So these individuals are nominated by a district employee or staff member, and then we publicly recognize them. So call up, first we'll start with our classified, and so I'm going to ask Pam Sargent, who is an ISS monitor at Lucille Irwin Middle School. Pam, if you'll come up, and Pam was nominated by Bree Bell. Okay. We have,
Yeah.
I will read. You can stay right there.
Bree isn't here. Who was it that was to be here?
I could tell a joke. But Here we go.
You know what? I can't even get in. Where's that item? Management accountability. What? This isn't the whole agenda on here. Fully participate.
So please tell us why this person is deserving of recognition. Thompson School District is lucky to have someone like Pam. She has the difficult job of monitoring ISS, but makes it look easy. She is kind and patient with even the most difficult students, while still holding firm on the rules and expectations. Team Player doesn't even scratch the surface when describing this woman. She is constantly substituting for any and every class in the building in between her own classes, coaches many sports, and volunteers her time for after-school events. Most importantly, she cares about students. She is someone students feel safe with, and she intervenes to guide, teach, and build up students on a daily basis. Pam is the kind of person that makes a difference. Congratulations. Licensed. We're going to invite up Christy Holland, who is a child find specialist and speech language pathologist at Stansbury and Ponderosa Elementary School. Christy was nominated by Emily Hill.
Please tell us why this person is deserving of recognition. I have worked with Christy over the last year as an early childhood special education teacher, with Christy as my speech language pathologist. Christy does not just demonstrate compassion for students and their families, but her colleagues as well. She comes early, stays late, and is often found at Stansberry on weekends working with things that need to be done. This past summer, Christy and I went to a conference together for a week in Denver. We shared and learned so much from each other. Christy suffers from some health conditions, but yet she puts that on the back burner and continues to plow forward and to be the best that she can be. Christy Holland has consistently demonstrated exceptional performance in her role as a speech-language pathologist in our early childhood program. Her hard work, dedication, and attitude have made a significant impact on our team and has contributed to our team goal of helping us obtain our achievements of increasing speech in each of our students. During our team meetings, she listens and gives incredible outside-of-the-box observations and insights when we are talking about students we are concerned with. We leave our team meeting with a new insight to a student because of Christy's outstanding intuition of students and adults. Christy exhibits everything you envision when thinking about what a speech-language pathologist should be. She shows compassion to all her students, family members, and staff. Christy's day-to-day interactions with some of the more challenging students never seem to deter her from the mission of providing quality speech-language interaction. She finds out the interests of the student she is working with and brings in their love of things and helps them to develop their language through their interest. Christy does not just demonstrate compassion for patients and their families, but her colleagues as well. Anytime a person in our early childhood program needs assistance with anything, Christy is there without complaint and with a willingness to help her offer a shoulder to cry on and a listening ear. She generally loves what she does, and it shows through her enthusiasm to educate others in a way that makes them feel accomplished and competent. I'm honored and so blessed to work side by side with Christy Holland. She is my friend, my confidant, my colleague, and a friend that I will have for life. Thompson School District has an incredible employee in Christy Holland as a speech-language pathologist and her new role as a child find coordinator for ECE.
Congratulations, Christy. Next, I would like to call up our APT, Todd Piccone, who is our Chief Operations Officer, and Todd was nominated by Kevin Turvey.
Hey, how you doing, Amy?
Hi.
Hi, my name's Kevin Turvey. I am the lead field trip driver for transportation. I service Ponderosa and PVA now. I used to be Comball and Loveland, but I've drove several year round in the district and that such. But first and most, I want to say Todd is amazing at what he does. He's very humble and very supportive in all regards. 3 years ago, when C-19 was in effect, Todd advocated for my son's football team, and it wasn't necessarily popular with the school board, but he followed Shasta guidelines, and they ended up winning state, which was the only normal thing for these boys. They'd been playing together since they were 7 years old. They are state champions because of Todd. I brought in a ring to represent that. Can't take that away. Going on from that, this spring, Todd and Tara put on a food truck for all the classified staff, and things were going amazing, and they were amazing about staying till the very bitter end and going last. And I noticed Todd going around craving feedback. Like, he actually came up to me. He's like, hey, what do you think about an electric bus? What do you think about the new buses? He went over to Alan from Loveland and security. He was asking everybody questions, and he just kind of worked the whole room and stuff, and it showed that he sincerely cared. And then the spring, when PVA opened, it was a complete disaster. As you know, I drive a bus out of there, and he was 100% like hands-on, came up with solutions, and then within the next 3 days, everything was flowing amazing out of there. But it definitely is a definite reflection of what he had done. Also, last year I drove kiddos to the Nuggets game, and my seat was probably very last row, right in the middle in front of a beam or something, and Dr. Schaefer and Todd and Kevin invited me to go to the suite and stuff, so that was extra special because they won the championship that year anyway. But nevertheless, in closing, I'd just like to say that he treats others with respect, and he's just an all-around great for what he does, for sure.
Todd, congratulations. So our final recognition is our Community Champion Award, and this is award that recognizes a group or organization within our community that helps support our schools and our students. And so our Community Champion for the month of November is Chick-fil-A of Loveland, and Chick-fil-A was nominated by Ryan Smith from Mountain View.
Well, thank you for a chance to recognize Todd Orlando and Chick-fil-A of Loveland. Todd unfortunately wasn't able to be here tonight, but we have Renee and Chris here to represent Chick-fil-A. But Todd has supported our freshman seminar program over at Mountain View High School for the last 4 years. He continues to support our efforts this year. We have this monthly Melvin Cup assembly that we do to recognize our freshmen that are working hard. Melvin is our mountain lion mascot. But each month we have these seminar classes. They're competing for grades, attendance, participation in activities and things like that, and other competitions that we do. And at the end of the month, one class will win the Melvin Cup trophy. So as an added incentive, Todd always generously supplies us with Chick-fil-A mini cows and free meal cards to give to the winning class each month. And this is, over the last 4 years, I kind of did the math, but it roughly amounts to about 250 cows a year, well over 1,000 cows and meals. And so I'm super thankful for his generosity, his partnership that helps us to give incentives for freshmen as we're encouraging them to pursue excellence at our high school. So yeah.
Obviously, I'm not Todd. I am Chris. I am Chris Cochran, Director of Operations at Chick-fil-A in Loveland. I'm here today with Renee Stallings. She is our HR and Admin Director. We're here to accept this reward on behalf of Chick-fil-A Loveland team and Todd Orlando, the owner and operator. Unfortunately, Todd is visiting a fellow owner-operator of Chick-fil-A today in Grand Junction. The owner-operator, he is visiting and sadly fighting for his life, or else he would have loved to have been here and accept this award in person today. Chick-fil-A has been in the city for over 17 years and prides itself on not just doing business in Loveland, but being a fabric of the community. We love to support our community and especially the schools and organizations within Thompson School District. It means the world to us to receive this award on Todd's behalf. Again, he would have loved to have been here and wanted to thank you all with some small gifts and appreciation during this season of Thanksgiving. Renee is handing out some mini moves. We appreciate the recognition of this reward and look forward to connecting and serving Thompson School District in the future. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. What I'd like to do is I would like to please invite up Todd, Pam, Christy, and our friends from Chick-fil-A. We could take a quick picture with the Board of Education.
Thank you.
Mini moves.
Thanks.
Everybody slide this way for me a little bit. There we go. That'll work. Okay, look right here for me. On three. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite up Executive Director of Secondary Schools, Theo Robeson, who will be introducing our featured school.
So, greeting, Madam President, Dr. Schaefer, members of the board. I'm eager to introduce our principal at Bill Reed Middle School, Mr. John Kleiber, who's going to talk to you today about some of the celebrations and learning opportunities at Bill Reed Middle School.
Well, hi. I've been in front of you a few times, right? Super excited to be here as your leader of Bill Reed and to talk to you about the incredible things we've got going and just kind of, if you will, a state of Bill Reed, some amazing, exciting things happening. And so I don't know how long I'll be talking, but we're just going to giddy up with it because I've got some great things to share. All right, but seriously, getting to be up here for with you for the first time as this principal of this school is it's an honor, and I'm glad to be able to do it. So here we go. We're going to start off with a little video that should go automatically because I don't have a bunch of kids around me, and I deserve to be. 600 people should be in this room. So just check this out for a quick second, I'll tell you the story. Thanks for taking a look at that. And I decided while I was standing here that I jumped the gun. Madam President, Dr. Schaefer, members of the board. I was nervous about it too, driving around like, don't mess it up. Mess it up. I'm John Kleiber, Principal Bill Reed. So thank you for taking a look at that. I'm so incredibly proud of every student you saw there, every staff member that's a part of us there. So I'll continue on just talking about just some of the ways that we are connecting with kids, connecting with the community, looking for improvement and excellence in what we're doing. And so I'm talking about connecting with kids. We're extremely proud of our sports programming. We're proud of our clubs, our academic supports and recognition. We are, just a robust program in any way that you look. So I'm going to talk a lot about Lisa today because it's a defining characteristic of Bill Reed, a defining characteristic of that community, and what draws in a great deal of students for us and even a great deal of teachers and why teachers teach the way that they like to teach there. But I don't want to ignore or not talk about some of the other pieces that are so important to our kids. But we'll keep on going. Voice, choice, and intervention. So this is one of those pieces that's new for us this year. We're actually operating off of what's called a junior high school model this year, which has allowed for us to create not just core academic classes, but also actual scheduled interventions. So every day of the week, kids targeted and receiving the intervention supports that they need. And of course, we have students that may not need that or may not be a targeted need at that moment. And so we've got teachers who have designed passion-related classes, things such as fun with fiction, nonsense with nonfiction, intro to musical theater, key mastery, yoga, and you. So if you're ever feeling a little stressed out, you just come on down at Pack Plus time, and we've got a class for you somewhere that's going to get you centered or fill a need that you happen to have. We're connecting a learning through the arts. So our Arts Academy, for me coming from Garfield, I knew how it looked there. I knew that what we built there and was very curious. How would it look as we continue on? What are our students getting as they head into middle school? And I'm proud to say what we're offering and what we're providing is outstanding. So Heather Hanks is our LISA coordinator there, and she's developed an after-school Arts Academy program with 25 plus classes and workshops for kids that can find just about anything they would ever want to do or experience or try and get that experience and have a connection to school. So if sport's not their thing, there's lots of other places our kids get to connect to, which is great. We're the only full-time drama performing arts program in the district, at least in the middle school level. Ms. Carla Q runs, if you've seen one of her shows, they just stop you where you're at. And what's incredible there is it's not just a play. It's the tech side. Kids there, like my own son, would have just thrived in a program like this because he was the guy that wanted to do the lights and control the sound and be a part of what made those actors and actresses just shine. And at Bill Reed, kids get to be a part of all that. They get to learn all that. They get to make a choice to say, that's what I want to go try to do. And so what they're doing at our school is unlike anything I've ever seen and just incredible. And of course, we have guest artists, field trips. We're headed to Colorado Youth Outdoors tomorrow along with the Greeley Museum to go check out their Ansel Adams pieces, which is unbelievable. So just some amazing experiences happening with our kids. Supporting staff with professional development is, of course, huge. I'll tell you, I remember a time at the elementary level, and this is not a knock against elementary. This is good, but where I was like, okay, how am I going to fill all these days, right? And I'm like, oh, I've got to get this together. I'll put this in there, and ooh, I got this idea. There's not enough days for the things that we want to do together. For the way that the Build Read team collaborates, there's just not enough time to do it all. And that's an amazing challenge to have. But these last 2 Wednesdays, we've actually done LISA Professional Development, Arts Integration Professional Development, that was Ed Camp modeled, which meant that teachers had over 18 different options they could go after. And so if they were wanting to do something more design cycle, there was a class for them. And what was amazing is these were taught all by their colleagues. Colleagues identifying themselves, something they do great. And they stepped up and said, I'd like to show my colleagues how to do this with you. And every class had 6 or 7 members, and the last 2 Wednesdays have been incredible. They were well developed, well designed, well attended. And when you have a staff like that wants to develop each other, you've already won. And so that's what that's part of the pride that I stand here with today is those amazing things. Connecting with our community. So as I just shared, whether we're at the museum, we've got the Arian Foundation, and of course their grants have expired, but their presence and their support in the community has not, right? They are as present as always, and we're continuing to partner with them. Loveland Library, Djembe Jive Drumming has been in our building for the last month and a half. I actually wound up with a really nice bruise on my hand because I was doing it improperly, but I'm pretty good. Like I can really, throw down a beat there. And our Rialto, and that's just to name, just to name a few. In fact, I was so pleased that that Chick-fil-A was here to be honored. They've partnered with us. They partnered with us at our 6th grade Running with the Wolves program as we transitioned kids in and provided one of the lunches there. And they're an amazing, just one of a few amazing partnerships that we have in the community. So this is the part where I want to talk about all in. Every year as a principal, I believe in defining a simple vision, 1 or 2 words that just says, this is who we are, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to attach our work to. And this year at Build Read, it's all in. Anything we do, we're not going to go half. We're not going to just touch it and be like, ooh, that was fun. No, we're all in, every bit of it. And so as we wrote our SUIP, as we looked at the position that we're in, as we looked at the improvements we needed to make, the staff said, okay, let's go. We're all in. So I wanted to share with you those things that we're all in about and that are going to make the difference for students in the outcomes this year. So we're all in for engagement. Engagement as defined by chronic absenteeism, family and community engagement, and cooperative learning structures. So our chronic absenteeism, if you look at that graph on the right for the last couple of years, has been struggle bus. 39%, 38%. That's too many kids not in school, right? We've got amazing teachers offering amazing things, but when they're not there, we're not getting that job done the way that we want. And so it's one of those, it's a challenge, but our goal is to be beneath 20%. So you can see as of November, as of a couple days ago when I created this slideshow, we're getting there. And we're dropping that bar. And the job is to continue that. The job is to keep working with parents and informing them what that looks like. And the job beyond that is to make school so amazing that kids don't want to miss it. And that's where our arts integration plugs into that. That's where the relationships plug into that. And that's where our family and community engagement piece plugs into that. And so we have an implementation team that's all about it. And every week we're looking at the data, we're looking at where we can reach out, which parents to connect to. And so that's super important to us. Intentional planning is one of our major improvement strategies within the SUIP. And put simply, it's using the curriculum that we have really, really well. We don't have to go searching for 1,000 different things to do this job really, really well. What we have is more than enough. And so it's choosing the right questions and understanding our standards. It's about PLCing and planning together and then talking together about how it went. Did we get the job done? Did students reach the standard we were after? And so that intentional planning reaches into ELA, it reaches into math, and it reaches an all-school 6-8 writing focus. No matter what you teach or where you're teaching, you're also a writing teacher. And so we're chasing down that focus so the kids can communicate what's inside of them, because bottom line, they are capable of demonstrating some incredible stuff. And in the past, haven't been able to or weren't perhaps willing to communicate what they know. And so we're working on freeing that up and making that a real possibility for us. Professional learning communities is the other piece that our staff are working on. So this year, we've got the targeted interventions. We've got rigorous planning with standards. We've got cross-curricular writing. And now we just need to get together and talk about how those things are going. And so our staff members, I actually shifted office, participated in something called breakthrough coaching. So the idea was clean it out, right? Nothing. My office is the most boring place on the planet until the human beings doing the work show up. then it becomes interesting. So I've got this big old conference table, and every week these teams are showing up, and we're talking about kids, and we're talking about data and analyzing goals. And it's been my favorite thing this year, just to have those moments, have those teachers with us, knowing we're making the progress. So those PLCs are in progress and working wonderfully for us. And that's us. That's our team. That's Bill Reed, all in, no matter what. So we were staring right into the sun that morning, but we're going to take that photo. But thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity just to spend a few minutes talking to you about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and why we're so proud of it. Appreciate it. Any questions? Okay, ask questions? Ask questions.
No, just listening to you just makes me want to go apply to be at Bill Reed.
Oh,
You're
come
just
to Bill
like-
Reed.
You're so
This is
exciting.
what I've got all day long. Absolutely. I'm just excited. This is, the moment you see me, I'm no longer looking like this, say, go take a break, or, just, it's an amazing place, Nancy. It's, I'd love for you to come by.
Okay.
Come check it out.
Anybody else?
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to get to go to Bill Reed for one of our visits by myself, surprisingly, because it was amazing. I mean, I've been at Bill Reed a long, long, long time. And there is something really special in such a short amount of time that I know that's you. And it's been a place that's been precious to me for a long time. And so it's really cool to see what's happened just in a few weeks of you being there. And this is a nice reflection of all of that. So thanks for sharing it with us.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Anybody else?
All right.
I've
Have a
heard good
wonderful
things.
evening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point in the meeting, I'm going to try to combine the recognition of outgoing board member and our board committee reports. So you may choose which way you want to go with it. I'm going to start us out. I normally go last, and I'm going to go first this time. And I just want to start by thanking Pam for all of her time, all of her talents, and her thoughtful responses that she provides for every topic. When I started out on the board, she was instrumental in helping me figure out how to do this, how to be a member of the board, how to adjust to the new role of what was going on. She just helped me figure this whole process out. She's so thoughtful in how she responds to discussions, to voting issues. She always seems to bring what I call a voice of reason to all of the emotion that the rest of us might be feeling at a certain point in time about whatever we're talking about. And I guess her words of wisdom have helped us move forward in so many ways and made Thompson School District a better place for students, for staff, and for the families. So Pam, thank you so much. You're making me cry. Okay, I did mine. Dawn?
I'm just going to do my committee report. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Well, okay.
So I'm trying to be cool. We'll see how that goes. I'm just so grateful for everything you've done. You have made a difference in a way that it's really easy for a lot of people to take for granted, because when things work well, that's what happens, right? When things work, people go, great, I don't have to worry about that. And I think that that's a beautiful thing that you brought to our community. And there was nothing easy about that. You gave so very much. You do every day for 10 years. Shockingly, you're still smiling and continuing to find ways to do that. And I know that everything good in Thompson, everything that kids enjoy and love, and that helps them, do this thing when it's hard, is because you said these things are important too. And you never lost sight of what was important, while also making sure that we had these great things, and really fighting hard to make sure that we had a good eye on that whole whole human piece of this. So thanks for loving the kids and giving your heart. You're amazing, and I'm grateful to get to know you.
Alexandra?
Okay. So I think it was probably 2015, when you were campaigning, and you came to our house, and we actually, I don't know if we were there, we didn't talk to you. You came and you dropped off, like, the paperwork or whatever, and then you were walking away, and we were there, and we saw you walking away, and we looked at it, and we looked at you, and we were like, oh my God, that's Pam Howard. And it was like so exciting that this like major celebrity had been at our house. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And so I've since learned it's not quite as glamorous as all that. But it was amazing. And your dedication to the district and your just commitment to the students and this whole district is truly legendary and amazing. And you have been through so much sorry, I have to look at my little notes for a second. So much over the past 10 years through societal and political upheavals and pandemics and many personal, both celebrations and challenges. And so many people would have walked away and said, forget it, this is too much. And you never did. And you've been here and you continue to be here. And that perseverance and resolve and tenacity is a tremendous example for all of us, our students and ourselves and everybody. And so that is pretty amazing. So back in that 2015, I never certainly imagined that I would one day be sitting here with you. That was not on my radar. But I am glad I've had the opportunity to serve alongside a wonderful school board celebrity. So thank you.
So I became aware of Pam Howard in 2013. My next door neighbor at the time was very involved with the board, and I had a child born in 2012. So, my neighbor just kept planting that seed, and I sort of got to, hear about school board, and Pam Howard was that constant theme that my neighbor talked about. And then you were elected, 2015, and then 19. You are a legend. You are legendary. I mean, so, I, like Alexandra, I feel honored to serve with you and to have learned from you. You're a fierce advocate for public education. Your passion is palpable. You carry yourself with such grace and poise that I admire that, because I don't, and sometimes I can't. And I just admire you. So your service, your dedication. So I know this is not goodbye. You will continue to be around in Thompson, because you're just not here for the show. You're the real deal. So thank you, and we'll see ya.
So I first met Pam in 2013. I can still picture in Thompson Valley, it was the lunchroom area when you were getting the cafeteria, very fancy. And so one of the things about life is you find that some of the people that you think are on opposite sides, they're not. They're on the same side as you. And so we are both very passionate about education. And so I see Pam, I never imagined that I would serve with you for 2 years. And in that time, I've gotten to know you and understand your passion. We've both become grandparents. I'm up to 3. You need to catch up. You need to catch up. I don't know if your kids, I don't know if your daughter's on board with that yet, but you need to catch up. And so it's just interesting that we may not always agree in the how, but I know that we both agree and believe very deeply in the value of public education. And that we've both had our times on the board during difficult times. And so I see that you got through it, and so I know that I'll get through it. And I just see this as things just kind of coming full circle. And now it's time for you to go play tea party with your granddaughter. So thank you so much for all that you do, Pam.
Well, I appreciate all the kind words. I'll try not to cry, but Thompson School District really has been my home for the past 10 years. Oops, I guess I should turn that on. Thompson School District has been my second home for the past 10 years. And I've grown to just really respect each of the staff members here. Now, I'm not saying I know all, 2,000 plus people, but I've gotten to meet a lot of them over the years. And it's a bittersweet evening for me to be at my last meeting. But as I leave my position on the board, I'm confident that the Thompson School District is in fantastic hands. And that's what makes leaving really easy. Every time I visit a classroom, every time I visit with an administrator, every time I ride a school bus or go to a school for a student presentation, I always walk away impressed. And that's pretty hard to do, but that's because of the people. And that's because I'm impressed by our certified staff, our licensed staff, our administrative staff. Each person puts their whole heart and mind into their work here in Thompson School District. And their singular focus, the educator's singular focus here, putting students first, is so obvious. And I think it really makes Thompson School District stand out. I talk to a lot of board members from other school districts, and Thompson School District is pretty well respected out there amongst the state. And this is why it's the hard work of our staff and our educators. It's why we have so much good going on, and we've made so much progress. It's why we have increasing graduation rates every year. I mean, think about that, increasing graduation rates. That's pretty incredible. We're getting equity into every classroom throughout our district, and really focusing on equity, making sure each student can succeed and have the opportunities they need. We have dozens of programs for our students to choice into, and that doesn't happen by chance. That happens because of the educators out there. And then there's my fellow board members who, you guys are some seriously dedicated citizens. And I and the community are just so appreciative of your willingness to volunteer your time and talents, because it's not easy, and you don't make a single penny doing it, and you can get yelled at sometimes, and you can get, berated, and we can get terrible emails, and you guys just keep top of mind are the students, and you don't get sidetracked, and that's really hard to do. And it's once again, you persevere, you stay positive, you keep the work of the district and the students first and foremost. And when I say it's been an honor to serve on this board for the district, I sincerely mean it. And I also mean it for my former, board members I've served with. And, Janice Marchman is here. She got to swear me in 10 years ago because she was vice president of the board. We've had such a history and a rich tradition in our district of phenomenal board members and phenomenal superintendents like Dr. Schaefer. And we're just so fortunate that we have him. We had Dr. Scheer. And the only way you successfully move through the challenges that we've had in the past decade, I mean, it's pretty wild when you think about what we've been through in Thompson School District for the past 10 years. It's through teamwork, and it's through respect
for each other. And this culture and climate that Dr. Schaefer and other staff have worked so hard to achieve, it's paying off. And it's working, and our students are thriving because of that. And they're constantly getting new educational opportunities. And their educational outcomes are pretty amazing. And so that perseverance has really shown through. And you guys, all board members, staff people, have stepped up time and time again for our students and families. And my last statement, I can't go away without saying public education is truly the heart of our community and the cornerstone of democracy. There's a reason why when we are sworn in, we pledge an oath to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States. And a lot of people don't know that. They're like, what, school board member pledges, to uphold the Constitution of the United States? Absolutely. That's what we're here to do. Like, we are the defenders of the First Amendment. And that, right there, that alone is a huge enough job. And you guys are willing to tackle it. And it's pretty amazing. And I can't wait to see what's next for Thompson School District, because I know it's going to be great. And I'll be cheering you on. Thanks.
Thank you, Pam.
All right. Public comment. And Alexandra has read the comments for the guidelines for public comments in schools.
Because the board wants to hear the viewpoints of the public and also needs to conduct its business in an orderly and efficient manner, it shall schedule time during its regular board meetings for brief comments and questions from the public. The board shall set an unlimited time for public participation prior to the business portion of the meeting. However, the time for each individual speaker shall be limited to 3 minutes, and each individual will only be recognized once. Public comments and questions at a regular meeting may deal with any topic related to the board's conduct of the schools. Speakers may offer such criticism of school operations and programs as concern them, but are encouraged to exercise their speech rights responsibly. The board encourages the discussion of all personnel matters to be conducted in executive session.
All right, you'll have 3 minutes. When you start speaking, I'll turn this on and you'll have the green light. When you have 30 seconds left, it'll turn yellow. And then when your time is up, it'll be red and it'll keep beeping at you until you stop, so that I don't have to get a big hook. First up is Lauren Hogue.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Schaefer, and members of the board. Pam, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to follow that, but I'm going to try. My name is Lauren Haug. I am the parent of 3 children who attend Big Thompson Elementary School. Over the years that my kids have been in the district, I've had the opportunity to volunteer in some of the classrooms. Although I'm no longer technically a teacher, my background is as a special education teacher working with students from kindergarten through 12th grade, with a specific focus on literacy and reading disabilities. Volunteering at my kids' school has given me the chance to use that literacy background in the classroom again, and I love it. Last year I got to volunteer with our full-time reading interventionist, who was able to specifically focus on closing the achievement gaps for our students who were behind in reading, focusing on things like phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. Because these students were able to receive consistent focused intervention throughout the course of the year, we saw huge improvements in their reading abilities across the board. Unfortunately, since our reading interventionist position was funded largely through federal ESSER funds that we received to support us through COVID, we no longer are able to have FTE to fund a reading interventionist position in our school, and our students and teachers are feeling this loss immensely. I know that staffing decisions are made largely at a school level, by the administration in each building. And we are having these discussions in our school accountability committee, but I also know that this is an issue that is larger than just Big Thompson Elementary School. A quick browse through the TSD staff directory online shows that Big T is not the only school impacted by this funding loss. I found that 5 of our elementary schools either do not have an interventionist at all or have inadequate staffing to provide intervention to its students. 5 out of, I think, 16 elementary schools, that's 30% of our schools. This year I'm volunteering again during literacy time in the 1st grade. This group of students was particularly impacted during COVID because many of them were unable to attend preschool. So they missed a lot of important foundations of literacy, such as phonemic awareness and just interaction with other peers and adults that help them build this vocabulary. So many of these students started their kindergarten years already behind. Tonight, I'm just coming to ask for the board and the district's attention to this critical issue. I would like to look forward to find a solution. Like I said, we are working at the school level to work on this, but it is a much larger issue. I'm asking that starting in the 2024-2025 school year that every elementary school and K through 8 have access to a reading interventionist. The reading interventionist position is essential, especially in elementary schools. Oh, it's gonna keep beeping at me. Thank you for your time. I'll be back.
All right. Stephanie Dean.
All right. Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Schaefer, and members of the board. My name is Stephanie Dean. I'm a parent of 4 students, the PTA president, and part-time staff member at Big Thompson Elementary. Tonight, I'm here to continue the conversation about staffing in the Thompson School District. First, I want to say thank you so much for listening to our concerns and adding another full-time position at Big T for this school year. We are already seeing and feeling the benefits of this additional staff member. Today, I'm here to ask you to continue to look at and evaluate the standard staffing policies. Reading through the Strive 2025 initiative, I believe our goals are aligned in multiple areas. One of those areas is Focus 1, which is centered on student achievement. I would like to focus on the success indicator of student wellness. In our building, students have been affected by multiple staffing changes that are impacting student behavior. The lack of stability in staffing numbers leaves students wondering who will be in the next grade level or supporting them throughout the building. We have many students in our building who count on familiarity with staff members and begin building relationships through small interactions. These relationships help build students' trust and community away from home. By knowing who is going to be in the building and having a base relationship with staff members, students feel calm and ready for the transition heading into the following school year, one of those being my own daughter. When there is a consistency and minimal transitions, there is also a decrease in behavior because students feel safe. This school year, we had 4 grade levels that experienced multiple transitions at the start of the school year, which led to an increase in negative behavior. Students were having to navigate multiple schedule changes, staff members, which prevented many from feeling settled and comfortable with routines and expectations. Their stress level was high, leaving less space for learning and overall social emotional well-being. We all know that COVID has had a huge impact on students' well-being and behavior. A barrier for students we can address is the stability within our own buildings. We can support their emotional health and with consistent relationships and staff equipped to handle a diverse learning population. Again, what I'm asking today is that you consider revising the base staffing policies for buildings district-wide to create greater stability and fewer transitions for students to navigate on a yearly basis. I believe this will lead to a decrease in disruptive behavior and will set students up emotionally to begin succeeding from the start of this school year. Thank you again for your time and consideration in continuing this conversation.
Elizabeth Carney.
Good evening, Dr. Schaefer and the board and all the big guns of the district that are gathered here. First of all, I'm Elizabeth Carney. I'm a member of, resident of the district, graduate of the district, mother of 2 daughters who graduated from the district. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the recent winners of the recent election, Nancy Rumfeld, Stu Boyd, Don Kirk, and Denise Chapman. And to thank you all for filling those chairs and doing all the hard work that lays in front of you. I have a suggestion for the upcoming board election. I know I'm jumping the gun on this, but I think you should seriously consider putting Nancy Rumfeld in that position. She's the only person on your board who has the training, education, and experience to adequately evaluate financial decisions and give the board the guidance that it needs. I'm kind of amazed, and I notice Mr. Boyd's not here. I'd be happy to sit in for him tonight, if you'd like me to. No, not even a laugh? Bill, come on. Okay, let's move into our members. And there's 20 minutes for public comment, and you're limiting everybody to 3 minutes, even though if we divided 20 by 3, there'd be like 6-point-something minutes that people could use and still not cut into the rest of your meeting time. But I know you gotta have rules. Consent agenda 5.6, the school calendar. When I was talking to lots and lots of parents and employees of the school district during the campaign, consistently I heard, why don't we just start school after Labor Day? Why are we having school some of the hottest 2 weeks of the year instead of starting after Labor Day and then bumping into June when it's also pretty mild? 5.8, the Monroe school sale, $6.3 million. I noticed in the contract for Matthews House that the district is contributing as equity 1.960 for the early childhood building. I'm not sure that that's the math on that works. If you do the per square foot cost for the early childhood building and for Monroe Elementary, I think we're a little off there. Matthews House grant, 5.9, 61-page PDF, and I'm sure you've all read every page. I hope you have. Why are we using that building for a youth shelter when the early childhood development program, early childhood education program is maxed out in our district? Why are we taking that resource away? I don't understand that for 1 second. The definition of what's required by TSD is the statement of work. The statement of work is found on Exhibit A. Exhibit A doesn't include one mention of education. There is not, the word education doesn't appear anywhere in the statement of work. Why are we approving a program that you have one swipe of funding at for COVID relief funds, no agreement on who's going to run that program after those initial funds are gone, and you're stepping up for a 30-year contract? Those are the things I'd like you to consider. And I would also consider moving some items on the consent agenda off that consent agenda. These are big decisions.
Excuse me, we're ready to move on to our meeting.
Can I use someone else's 3 minutes?
We have 2 call-ins. Is that correct? Thank you.
Yes, this is Donald Riley. I'm a homeowner and taxpayer in Loveland. I live at 1575 Pennsylvania Street. My phone number is 970-744-0176. I'm making this call to the call-in comment line for the Thompson School Board. On 11/15/2023 at 10:03 a.m. This message for the Thompson School Board is about my concerns and priorities for education of our children in public schools. I've spoken with Nancy Rumfeld and others, and here's some key points that I think are very important. First is education fundamentals in language, math, history of USA and Colorado, democratic government, and basic economics understanding when moving towards adulthood. Another key point is full acknowledgement of parents' questions and needs with respect to education of their children by the Thompson School Board. Management of teacher tenures is a significant factor, I think, in quality of education. I would hope that the board would seek to limit early retirements and resignations among teachers and with resulting education disruptions. A discipline within the classroom and at the school is a significant distraction to learning, and inspiring students to not be intimidating bullies or victims in and around the school. School facility management budgeting with emphasis on quality maintenance to reduce future costs and disruptions from facility failures, I think is very important. In summary, I'm a very mature person who has really benefited from disciplined, quality learning during my formative years as a public education student. Our children today deserve no less. Your commitment on the board and the service to Thompson School educators and students is both recognized and certainly appreciated. Thank you very much. Don Riley, 1575 Pennsylvania Street.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Seaton. I reside in Berthoud, Colorado. I'm a Thompson School District parent and volunteer. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Pam Howard for her years of service on the Thompson School District Board. I truly wish you the best in your next chapter. I'm calling today to talk about the district's need to go for a bond and mill levy for the 2024 election year. It was very apparent to me throughout this school board election season how uneducated our voters are on Colorado's school funding and how it works. It is complicated and convoluted to say the least. However, we can be better about educating our district on how school funding for our district truly works. I believe that we need to start as soon as possible educating our district and voters and on how schools are funded for capital improvements and any maintenance repairs in the first place, as well as mill levies and what they're designed for. Second, I believe we need to educate on how Colorado state law outlines how school districts are even allowed to spend the money allocated to them. It's not a free-for-all given to us. And third, we need to talk about how best funding works within our state, that the marijuana tax is actually matching funds and is a competitive grant process, which is not always guaranteed. Education on with our voters needs to begin now so we can start to present them with a cost for our bond and mill levy in 2024 so they're not blindsided by the needs of our district and how we can go about fixing them. We also need to educate them that school funding structure changes at the until school funding structure changes at the state level, Thompson School District will continually ask for bond and mill levies just to maintain our dire repairs, needs for additions, new schools, and to support and keep our amazing staff. This election season across the state, there were 7 school bond measures and 6 mill levies. Only 1 bond and 2 mill levies passed, none in conjunction with each other. We are facing an uphill battle asking for property tax increases among our rising rates and valuations here in Larimer County. However, I feel by presenting a united and educated front on why our district so badly needs these to pass, we will and can have an overwhelming community response with a vote for yes on a bond and mill levy for 2024. Thank you for your time.
And this concludes our public comment. All right. The next item would be the action consent items. And these are all items that were presented to us at our study session, knowing that this would be our last meeting before. Do we have another? We have another one in December. Yeah, so we have one in December before. But this is the last meeting. This was going to be the full-seated board at this point in time. So that's why we have such a large number. So are there items that need to be removed from this, or are we okay to move forward with this? Everybody okay with it? All right. I'm going to read off each item, and then we will vote all of these as a group. And then we will also have the proclamation for Jessica as well. So 5.1 is the approval of personnel, extra duty, and coaching recommendations. 5.2, the approval of expenditures over $50,000. 5.3, approval of second reading exhibit LC-E research philosophy. 5.4, approval of Curriculum Instruction Council course recommendation. That would be CIC. 5.5 is the approval of the Joint Insurance Committee, JIC, renewal recommendation. 5.6 is the approval of calendar recommendations for 2024-2025 and 2025-2026 school years. 5.7, approval of the New Vision Charter School renewal extension recommendation. 5.8, approval of the sale of Monroe Elementary School. 5.9, approval of the State of Colorado grant agreement for the youth shelter. And then 5.10 will be the approval of the proclamation for Jessica May for Colorado Teacher of the Year. And before we vote, I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation, and we'll celebrate Jessica, and then we'll come back up and vote. So, this is the proclamation, Jessica May, Colorado Department of Education Teacher of the Year. Whereas, Jessica May teaches family and consumer science at Turner Middle School in Berthoud, and taught at Conrad Ball Middle School in Loveland last school year when she was nominated. She has taught for decades in the Thompson School District, covering all manner of subjects, including math, social studies, science, and language arts. And whereas the selection committee lauded Jessica for her innate abilities to connect with her students. Not everybody can do that. Whereas she has spent endless hours in and out of the classroom teaching students and empowering them to think freely. She has helped her students develop skills such as questioning, provoking, and challenging all things presented to them. And whereas she has engaged her students by producing innovative lessons that have real-life applications and has thus promoted learning to her students as a lifelong endeavor. Whereas the purpose of the Teacher of the Year Award is to honor educators that have made an exceptional difference in the lives of their students and provided inspiration to their peers. It recognizes and promotes excellence in education and helps promote an educated and vibrant community. And now therefore, the Thompson School District Board of Education does hereby acknowledge Jessica May as the Colorado Department of Education Teacher of the Year and encourages all its citizens to congratulate her on her accomplishments as one of Thompson School District's finest educators. So proclaimed this 15th day of November, 2023. And Jessica, we would like you to come up and have a picture with us.
I'm shy.
You're right.
Oh, we know.
All right. No, you're good. Be a little tall. All right. Get out of the mic here. Yelling into the audience. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3. Good. Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words? Well, I was told to ask.
You have to ask.
Oh, she's good.
Sure, I will. Anytime you give me a microphone, I got it. I just want to say what a huge honor it really is to be this. I learned that I am the first one from Thompson, which is horrible to me because I had so many fabulous teachers from Edmondson and Bill Reed and Loveland High. And so, again, that honor of being able to say how incredible Thompson is and how we take the risks and other districts around us follow us. And we're kick butt, and I'm here to represent us and our students and our staff, and I really appreciate this acknowledgement and you guys giving me the time and the platform for this. And I can't wait for January 1st, and I will not let us all down. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we have heard the long list of items that were on our action consent, so I would now like to entertain a motion to approve all of those items.
So moved.
Thank you,
My
Pam.
final motion.
I'll second.
And Amy. First from Pam, second from Amy. And Laura Lee, would you please call the roll?
Stu Boyd. Amy Doran. Pam Howard.
Aye.
Don Kirk.
Aye.
Barbara Cruz.
Aye.
Alexander Lessem.
Aye.
Nancy Rumpel.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes. And we have no discussion items tonight. Fall off your chairs. So there are, I believe, 2 written reports, is that correct? Just one, the financial, and then there will be posted next month, the committee reports?
Yes. The committee reports are on there, and then.
Oh,
the
and
monthly-
financial.
Yeah.
Okay, they're
sorry.
both there.
I thought you
Okay,
meant
that's what I was
families
thinking there
pack.
should be. All right, is there any additional information as we come to the end of the agenda? All right. This meeting is adjourned. And it's
Just thinking about how could the origin of life be expressed through movement. You know, we work with neural artists, we work with comedians and performers, and it's all these amazing ways to bring people outside of science into what we do, and also bring scientists. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I'd love to unpack 2 things there. One is the comedy, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but also you mentioned contemporary dance, and I love there's like the dance your thesis competition that some people have, and there's other ways to explore like our science and dance. And one of my old lab mates, for instance, Betsy Swanner, who's now a professor in geology, she had done a dance of her thesis exploring subsurface microbes mediating iron metabolism. I wonder if you can explain for us, like how do you see dance? How do you see contemporary dance actually effectively sharing science?